Okay, Stacy, so we are approaching first day of school and paperwork is coming due. What should we and should we not submit to the schools?
Well, first you want to submit the form that we have in the description box so that they know what you're not consenting to, because you don't want any of your children's rights violated. So the laws that you don't want violated are the FERPA, the COPPA, the PII, and the PPRA. And these are laws that are listed in the document. So if you don't know what those are, you should go look those up.
And we do have videos that we've done in the past that go over the COPPA, FERPA, and everything.
Yes. So when you get your documents that the school wants you to sign off on, you actually want to read every line, and anything that you don't agree with, you can actually mark it out. And you can say that you don't agree to that. Pay attention to what they want your kids to sign, because your kids really can't sign off on anything. They're not of age to make agreements and contracts with anyone. Be sure you read over exactly what they're asking and saying in each document, including your child's physical form this year, because there is a paragraph that asks you to waive your rights to the PII, which is personal identifiable information, so that they can release your child's information to the media. So you want to, 1, 2, 3. If you start at the end of the contract, it's the third paragraph from the end where they ask you to release that information.
How about immunization form? So I was able to go to chiropractickids.com, and I can put the link in the box. I downloaded the Kentucky State Vaccination Exemption form. I filled it out, and I actually took it to their office, and they signed off on it. So Sam is the person you want to contact at Children's Family Chiropractic Center. They're located in Fort Wright, and they're super nice. They have them printed there if you don't want to print it yourself and take it, but just look over it before you actually sign it, and then have her notarize it. And then you can present it to the school will accept it. So what that will do is you do not have to have your kid immunized with whatever the stipulations are, whatever those shots are that you have to get at the doctor's office every so often. So that'll waive any kind of shot, whether it's hepatitis,
COVID, any of them.
COVID, anything.
Keep in mind these are actual contracts, and if you did make the mistake of signing things before reading them, you can always ask for those contracts, and you can always turn them in, because it's going to go by date. So let's say you signed off on the user agreement for the technology. It's presented to parents as if you're going to be responsible for the technology use, and that your child's going to be responsible on the technology. However, what they're not telling you, it's not a true informed consent, is that the Chromebook is actually data mining your child. The district is using dashboards to run analytics and use for decision making, and all these things actually violate your children's privacy rights. So if you did sign off on it, you can still submit a withdrawal of consent later. You can still cover your child's privacy rights by printing off the form, filling it out, and sending it in, even if you signed off on it previously. If you have submitted this form and you find out that they did assign your child an email address and have put them on a Chromebook where they're signing in with their first last name at child's school, and you want to take action, please don't contact us if you're just wanting to complain. Don't waste our time, please. But feel free to contact us if you want to take action and the school has gone against the contract that you submitted. Contact us at jillandstacy@protonmail.com, and we will help you take action against the schools for violating your child's privacy rights.
I did not fill out the Medicaid benefits form. That's totally up to you as a parent if you want to fill that out. I didn't fill it out. There were several forms I didn't fill out. It's totally up to you. You're the parent. You have to remember that you're in charge. They're not in charge. And if you have questions, like Stacy said, reach out to us. We're available. We'll answer your emails. We'll try to answer as best as we can. But you're not alone. There's a lot of parents out there that are submitting these letters saying that they don't want their child on the Chromebook. They're withdrawing consent. We're going to leave it in the link. We'll put a copy in there, and you can edit it as you need to, because you're going to put your principal's name in there, the date, your name, your phone number, and you want to have them acknowledge by signing the bottom of the letter stating that they've acknowledged that you're submitting this, that you want to withdraw from the Chromebook. You don't want them doing any surveys. You don't want them have any participation in SEL, DEIB, CRT, etc. You don't want any biometrics pulled for them. You don't want to collect PII, assessment data, etc. I mean, the letter has it all listed, so you can personalize it as needed.
And if you don't know what something is in the letter, look it up, because you can find a ton of information on these laws, on these curriculums, on Portrait of a Graduate, on what SEL is, what PII is. If you have questions, be sure you're doing some research, because these are actual contracts and these are your children. So by law, they have to honor what you're turning in. So if you sign off that they can violate your child's privacy rights, and you sign off on these forms that they're sending home, granted, they're not true informed consent, because they're not telling you what they're doing with the data. They're not telling you what the surveys are. You're not getting the surveys that are embedded in the Chromebooks about your child's sexuality, religion, political beliefs of the family, how many weapons you have. These are questions that are asked on the Chromebook, on the surveys.
So it's just not asking about the kid, it's asking about the
You.
mom and the dad, grandma, whoever is the guardian of that child.
Yes, it's a whole data mining process, and they do know that it's doing these things. They just clearly don't care. But it violates your PPRA rights, and read everything. Like the physical form wants to disclose your child's private information to the media. And we have that highlighted for you to show you that. When you get these contracts and you're told that you have to turn these forms in so your child can participate in sports, you can still turn in the form. What I'm asking you to do is X out anything you don't agree with. You do not have to agree to everything they've written. You can mark out the stuff you don't agree with. And you can tell them, no, I do not allow my child to sign off on contracts because he's not of age. And you shouldn't have your child signing things when they're not of age, because they cannot be held liable in a contract.